Hi, people. Well, this time it's me that's doing the introductions. Mark has got something he wants to get off his chest. So let's have a listen to his sage words and let's see what we can react to. Let's see what he's got for us. Away you go, my son.
Oh, um, I do come from in the UK, the county of Essex, and in Essex is a place called Borley Manor, which actually burnt down a while ago. The, the ruins of the place are there now. Um, there was some recorded ghostly goings on in this place. Yes. Now it turns out that a lot of it was from a younger woman who married a much older man for some reason, who was a man of the cloth because it's attached to a church. And she claims that she heard things and saw things and felt things. And eventually, I think it was the Daily Mirror came and investigated, and they brought in a well known ghost hunter at the time. Sorry, this isn't off the top of my head
Yeah.
statement, but yeah, it's reading into something else. If you want
Well,
to
where are
look
you
at it,
going to go? Where are you
yeah,
going to go?
yeah,
Ghost hunters.
yeah,
Oh,
that's was it no job too small, no fee too big. Anyway, yeah.
there you
But yeah, anyway, so this guy came in, he wrote some papers, yeah, and it all got made a good story in the papers. People were there 50 minutes of glory. It now transpires. Now there was a film made about this, a documentary made that I watched the other day about it, and it's of interest to me because I grew up with this story of this place. I know it sounds a bit vague, but um, and they got these people. One is actually a ghost hunter with all the equipment. The other was an historical researcher. The other one was a psychiatrist, stroke someone who empathist. She called herself. Somebody that feels empathy. Okay. So and anyway, they went and investigated this place as good as they could get access to it. And yeah, they were wandering around. The researcher actually found some interesting information. What was interesting is the actual ghost recorder with all the electronic equipment, actually close to the place itself, didn't really register anything there, but around the grounds certainly did. Yeah, okay. And it's near a church, yeah, etc. Um, the person of empathy again didn't really feel anything in the place itself. And if anyone wants to study this, I just won't go too deeply into it because I spent half a day talking about it. Um, didn't feel the place itself, but felt empathy in the surrounding areas and things like this, but didn't really feel anything particularly there. And the historical researcher came up with lots of information about this ghost hunter who wrote lots of books on the subject and made a career from it. Strangely enough, yeah, they found out about the woman herself. She may have had a few issues who reported all this. Yes. And the fact she was married to basically a man
go.
who was
As they
incapable.
all too as they all too frequently do.
Yeah, well, okay, I'm not suggesting anything here, but apparently, yeah, she may not have been totally fulfilled by her husband, whom she married for
Yeah.
family reasons, I believe. But I don't think it's a
Hmm.
member of the family. I think it was convenient she married. So she may have had a slightly different lack of attention in certain quarters, if not totally in her life. And maybe being just a housewife wasn't really suitable for her, even back in, I think, the 20s, this was, 30s, maybe later than that. Um, so again, now my question is, okay, there's this story, but I've also been in places myself, and my whole religion and faith is probably based around the supernatural. Okay, so I don't dismiss anyone that feels things or understands things or would claim things. Okay, I find it very difficult to dismiss anyone because when you are in a situation, sometimes you can feel things. I've been in situations where I've worked, or other situations of other members of my family, oh, well, we felt something. And then it turns out that the place has a history associated with it. Now, I'm not claiming anything. I did not have prior knowledge of this. I felt something. Yeah. And again, used to work in the London Underground. I felt things there and I read up later. Well, you're not the only person. Okay. Now, I didn't report it. It didn't go on my daily log of things. I felt a strange presence in the room I was with, etc. Because I think my boss would have some very serious questions about me. But question is, can we dismiss? Okay, I've just given you evidence and maybe questions before, but can we totally dismiss ghosts or apparitions or people feeling things? Is there more in our world that we don't know about than we know about? If somebody says they feel something or felt something, and I'm not saying in my case I felt or didn't feel, it didn't really freak me out. I just felt something. Can we dismiss it? Or should we investigate it? Or should we take them at their word? Or should we just put our arm around them and say, there, yeah, don't worry about it too much? What should we do? I mean, my end question is here, do ghosts exist or not? Oh, Tuesday.
Let me answer your question with another question. If they do, what are we going to do about it?
Well, again, it depends on if they're causing us a problem, I'd imagine, or not. Yeah.
I've no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah.
The thing is, like I go back to the question, if ghosts do exist, what are we going to do about it? And the answer is there's not a great deal we can do. Right? Unless, all of a sudden Ghostbusters does turn up with their plasma and manages to, or the priest will come around with his cross, his upside down cross to try and get the exorcist out or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's a slightly different exorcism, yeah.
But I mean, going back to the case of the lady in the house, I mean, she may have been neglected, but she's got a lot of competition. A lot of nuns in the church, so her husband could have been speaking with Mother Superior and the sisters.
I don't think it was a Catholic. It wasn't a Catholic thing, so I think it'd be unlikely.
I'm sure it doesn't need to be. But, there you are. The thing is, that we've seen so many. I mean, there's been so many comedians that have made so many jokes about this, about the program on the telly, the Ghost Hunter.
Yeah.
The program on the telly where. Where at the end of every single show, they draw a blank.
Well, yeah.
And so I mean,
I
would love to say that I've seen a ghost, but I don't think I have.
Well, I believe I have.
People that say that they have, if they say that they have, I'm sure they have.
As I said, I've felt and seen. I've actually I've seen something strange, but yeah.
The thing is, we come to the question. Let's get down to it, to the brass tacks, about levels of dimensions. Because if ghosts are in a different dimension, we're only still discovering dimensions on this earth. And so if there are 5, 6, 7 dimensions that we still don't know about, who's to say that there aren't? I mean, we don't even know what's at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. We don't know. Our oceans are still a mystery to us. We haven't really discovered what the planet holds.
Yeah, well, we know less.
We're discovering new species of animals. We're discovering, we're discovering things in the. You say that you go on about, reading your history books. They've there was one the feathered eagle-headed god
Yeah,
in Egypt is the
yeah,
same as the eagle-headed god in somewhere like Peru.
yeah,
You know, it's the same guy with the handbag. You know, so you
yeah,
know that's what the image shows you. That's
yeah.
what the image shows you.
I mean, there
So
is.
so
Yeah.
how can you equate the two?
Well, I mean,
So are there other dimensions? There's just so much we don't know about, Mark.
well,
There's
yeah, yeah. I
we
mean,
think we know everything, but unfortunately, we don't know more than
yeah.
what we do know.
I do believe that the human brain works in a certain way. Now, that also there could be certain other things. There could be certain frequencies that affect our brains in the same way.
Well,
Uh,
frequency dimension, whatever you'd like to call it.
yeah, yeah. It's a pretty popular question, but yes, I find, I find it. I've always read about these things, like I said, and very often ghost stories give you an indication about the historical nature of the place. There have been people that claim to have seen entire wars, ghostly things, or heard them. Um, York, the city in York, in the UK called York, probably got the most ghosts per square kilometre than anywhere else.
I was born in York,
I think that's why I mentioned it. Yeah. So
and if I went back, people would be shocked.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, was it the basement where they saw the Roman legion walk through, but because of
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
floor. Yeah. I mean, and also they think that sometimes, yeah, a place can be trapped. Now, I've visited Dachau concentration camp. Now, I'm not saying I felt any ghosts there because you obviously go in there feeling something. I felt a very strange feeling, aura about the place almost. But again, I have prior knowledge what that place was about. Um, I also heard a story the other day about a woman that was listening to a couple that moved into a house she used to live in years ago, complaining about or saying that there's a woman who's hit her head against the wall. Now, this older elderly woman suddenly realised it was a time in her life where she had some bad stuff happen to her, and she was doing that. So, in a way, could it be, yes? So in effect, the people saw the ghost of her, although she wasn't dead, doing something
Well,
totally
in that
unconnected.
case, they didn't see the ghost of her.
Well, they saw something that
Yeah,
she related
might
to.
have been her.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So it could
It's a
be.
bit like it's a bit like these people that say in a past life I was a Roman centurion.
Oh yeah.
You know, were they really? I mean, did you ever hear somebody say
Oh yeah.
in a past
Claiming.
life I was a peasant?
Well, I know. I must admit,
And
I've never.
there were always some sort of Roman legion. Are they to be believed? I mean, there's nothing to say that they aren't telling the truth,
Well, yeah. I
or at
mean,
least their truth.
well,
However,
that's
is that to say that they don't exist? They do exist.
what they should. Yeah.
There's so much we don't know about. They
I mean,
could
I
be that
mean,
they're telling the truth.
and also another fact is that we actually live in the most haunted city in Brazil, or Recife. Not you necessarily. You live just outside. Yeah, we live. I live.
Well,
Yeah, Recife is meant to be the most haunted city in Brazil, and certainly there's a whole lot of stories around the town, varying in different things like high pitched shrieks. I don't know if that's a ghostly sound. Well, that's quite normal in parts of Recife. um, yeah, even 1960s tower block or sort of buildings here are considered ghostly. I mean, you walk around the city at night. Those who brave us have done it. I've been in that situation. Don't go into details, but I wasn't up to anything, just happened to be. And it certainly is very, very eerie, a very strange place. And there's lots of strange sights around, but I suspect they're not ghostly. I suspect they are more of our own
I
realm.
used
Yeah.
I used to in 1999, I believe it was, the police in it went on strike. The military police went on strike, and so there wasn't any policemen on the streets. And I frequently walked across the city to go to the old town in the city.
Yeah.
And the difference is the difference between the day and the night and walking across at the night time.
Yeah.
Is that during the daytime it's chocker with people.
Yeah, exactly.
And at the night time there's nobody there, and that's what makes it feel eerie.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Because
London,
you're accustomed. How many times do you cross the city during the daytime?
Yeah.
Quite a few.
Yeah.
How many times do you see across the city during the night? Not all that many, and so it will feel eerie because it's not how you are accustomed to see that place.
Well, I mean,
dark and with nobody there.
Yeah, I worked in London nights. I mean, I walked across, places that are meant to be haunted, and I didn't feel anything. So again, my theory of doing it, maybe, like I said, there could be reasons. I don't doubt anyone that claims things. Maybe maybe.
Well, we can't.
Yeah,
we can only accept it on face value because we don't know. We just don't know.
I mean, when sometimes somebody claims something, then somebody finds some history. Again, even that can be suspect. And when Derek Corby, I think, if the guy goes, but I'm feeling this and that, he's a clever guy. Is he a performer, or does he actually have the gift? I don't know what they call the gift. Yeah, I really don't know.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, there's something we don't. It's something that we don't know about, and even if we did, there's not a great deal we could do about it.
Okay.
That's my conclusion.